Hello and welcome to 18 Garage. I want to thank everybody that's subscribed so far. If you haven't, go down there, subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff. Anyway, today's video is going to be about removing snap rings on a Dana 36. This also applies to Dana 44s that were used in 85 through 96 Corvettes, and the Dana 36 was used through 84 through 96 Corvettes. Dana 36 thing, all automatics, and the Dana 44 came in manuals, except for 84, which they just used the Dana 36 for automatics and manuals. But I recently got a PM from someone, one of my viewers, and I guess he damaged his snap rings. So I'm going to try and go over how to remove these snap rings and what they do and why they're important and why they're not just snap rings, they're also shims. So hold tight, I'll reposition the camera and get my tools, and hopefully I'll get good lighting and all that stuff and get a good view in here. Be back in a second. Alrighty, here I got the camera set up. I'm going to make like my 100th attempt at getting this snap ring out. I just switched to the other side. I originally was doing the ring side. Now I'm going to do the other side and try that. I was having bad luck trying to manipulate everything and work the camera and all that stuff. But hopefully you can see that snap ring. Like right now it's not visible, and well, barely visible. And it's in a position I cannot get these snap ring pliers. By the way, you want a 90-degree set of snap ring pliers. The better quality, the probably easier to job is. A couple of screwdrivers and possibly a hammer, small hammer to manipulate it. And the first thing I need to do is manipulate that. So this is how I do it. Just take a screwdriver and lip. I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm hoping you can. This is the best I can do right now. The lighting I have. Yep, there we go. Now you should be able to see it. And then there basically it is. You can see, be able to see just a little spot of yellow paint on there. Now that being said, I'll go into this more, the shim thickness, because these are shims, not just plain snap rings. But I'll go into that in a few minutes. But this is what you do. You take your 90-degree snap ring pliers, manipulate them in the hole, and sometimes these will pop right out, and sometimes they give you all sorts of grief. Today they've been giving me all sorts of grief, so that's because I'm filming. If I wasn't filming, they'd probably pop right out. Trying to see what I'm doing and not block the camera view is very difficult. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. Good. And of course it just came out again. Manipulate it a little better. Almost got it. I know my fingers are blocking away, but like I said, that's the best I can do. Hopefully you can see where I got it part way off. This isn't ideal. If I had a better set of snap rings, it would probably be better. I'm going to manipulate this around, and it should almost like act as a spiral and screw it. You don't want to damage these because they're hard to get. I believe Tom's differential still carries them, so if you're lucky, he has them. See how it's starting to bend, and I don't like that. That'll snap back, fortunately. And this is where you need a skinny screwdriver, skinnier than the one I was just using. Manipulate that sucker around. Yep, and there it goes. Now another thing you're going to want is a magnet, because mine is on the garage. I should be able to catch that. There it goes. It's out. Magnet, a really long pair of needle nose pliers. But here we go. That's it. This is a combination snap ring. Shim, and you can see where it's machined. It's been precision ground to a certain thickness. And that determines the clearance between this shaft here, this pinion shaft, and right here. I'm going to move the camera around just a second, so just hold on. This might be a little bumpy. Better look. But this distance right here where I have the screwdriver blade is determined by that thickness of that snap ring, and that affects how the clutches work or grab or something like that. That's to the best of my knowledge anyway. It also retains this axle in, and let me get that out and show you that better. And once you get that off, it should just slide out. There's the axle. This is what your half shafts bolt to. And your half shafts on a C4 Corvette are basically your upper control arms as well as half shafts. And that's why that snap ring is important to keep it in there. And it also affects the clutches. Now the reason they have different thicknesses is you're supposed to be within a certain tolerance, and see if I can get this in camera view here, and this is where it's important to have the factory service manual. You'll have this little guide here that tells you what each thickness of each shim is. I'll try and post this at the end of the video. I probably forget, but if you don't see it and you need it, just let me know. If you're going to be doing any work on your differential, you should have a factory service manual. And this basically determines that thickness from there to there, that axle. Getting it in is basically the reverse. Sometimes they go right in, sometimes they don't. I don't know if you can see it on this, the shim or not. I don't see it anywhere, but they're color coded. Now this isn't color coded, so hang on a second and I'll get a micrometer. Alright, here I am back with the micrometer. Hopefully you guys can see that. And that's 60 thousandths. 60 thousandths meat, according to this chart, is a yellow one. Now I have 3 Dana 36s here in my basement, plus the one out in the car. I'm almost positive every one has a yellow one. So and if you look at the clearance, now even though it's important, the clearance is actually pretty wide, and I'll try and show you that. It goes from 8 thousandths to 500 thousandths of an inch. That's the clearance. So that's a pretty wide clearance actually that you can get away with. According to what I've heard on the forums, you want to run it on the tight side. I'm not sure if that's true. I think the reason for that is the tighter it is, the more likely it's to disengage and engage the clutches. That being said, you don't want it too tight. And the only way I could think of checking that really would be with a feeler gauge. That could be a problem. That's a problem with this, is that it's too tight, and that's pushing the clutches out or opening the clutches. Now let me see if I can get a better shot of the clutches in here. Hopefully you guys will be able to see this without taking it apart. But there they are in there, you see them. A lot of people, when they open up one of these, they think, oh, this isn't a posi unit, because I don't see the spring. in clutches that you normally see. If you look at a lot of posi units, they have these springs right in here, and you can visibly see the clutches. But these Dana's are different. They have those clutches in there, and hold tight. And out of the case, this is what they look like. I got these extra ones sitting around. You can see where these are slightly worn surface. So at some point I'm going to try and see if I can get work on this unit and see if I can make it usable. And the reason I want to do that is if I ever break my other Dana 36 with the 307s in it, I'll have a spare. So like I said, this video is just about removing those snap rings and how important they are. You don't want to mangle them and all that good stuff. So hope this was helpful. If you have, for some reason, need to either replace your oil seals, you're going to have to remove those axles. And on the axles, to get these axle seals out. So keep that in mind. And of course, if your clutches are worn, if your posi traction is not working right, you're going to have to replace the clutches and hope that fixes it. And if you do that, you're going to have to remove those axle shafts in order to get this carrier out. So, anyway, I hope this video was helpful. And everybody have a great day. God bless.